Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and I just got back from G-Fest. Going to be putting out a few videos of my experience with G-Fest. Probably 2 of them, because I was there for 2 days. Sadly missed the 3rd day, because Jessica had to be back for work, so we had some time constraints. But I'll be putting up some videos of what all happened when I was there. But for this video, I'm actually going to go over all the stuff that I got from G-Fest, which pretty much I got piles of bags here and a few things on the floor as well I'm going to go over. There's quite a bit of stuff here, so let's get into it. Alright, so first and foremost, if you guys have paid attention to super important reviews, there is a certain SH Monster Arts figure that I've been wanting for a while. This has been something that's been missing out of my collection, and then after the eBay price hikes of the figure stuff, just kind of been a little bit elusive for me. But I actually did get one, which I had to stay in line for about a good 4 hours so I could be pretty close to the front of the line for the when they opened up the dealer room to get it, because there's only one that I've seen in the entire room. But I finally got my Burning Godzilla figure, which I am so happy for. So happy. I've been wanting this guy forever, because he even comes with a little Maser tank, so I got a little more things for props for videos. And he just looks awesome, and I actually can't wait to review this guy, because he should be sweet. And then for some other box stuff, we got couple of Revoltech Gamera and Gauss figures, which are actually my first Revoltech figures that I owned, and with it being the 50th anniversary of the original Gamera come out, I thought it'd be cool to actually get some other figures from my collection. And I thought, because they're a little bit smaller than the SH Monster Arts ones, I thought they'd be a really nice scale for the Gamera 2 that I got. And since I was planning on buying the Gamera, I've seen that they had the Gauss there too, so I decided to buy the pair together, and these guys should actually be really sweet too, and I already love the packaging for these, because you actually open up, see the figure on the inside of it, and they come with a crap ton of accessories. So this should actually be a really cool one to do. And then briefly just go over a few other things that are sitting on the floor here. We actually got a free DVD for when we went to the dealer's room for Godzilla Battle Royale, which I haven't actually watched yet, but I'm actually kind of excited to see what it is. It's just a little fan film here. It actually just looks like a bootleg movie, but I'm actually really excited to actually check this out, because this actually looks pretty sweet. Which actually at the convention they played actually quite a few of the fan films, and I actually got to see Goji Fan 93. I think that's what his channel's name is called. But anyway, Chris was actually got to watch this video, which was actually really sweet, and seeing that Diego Doom was actually one of the voice actors for that, so I was actually really excited watching that. So I was like, hey, I know those voices! And then some other stuff I got is I actually got some neat art prints, like this one of Godzilla versus the Smaller Monster, which these are done by John Bellotti? Make sure I got his card, so I actually remember how to pronounce his name. John Bellotti Jr. And these are actually, if you actually think these look really cool, they're from robot7.com. It's not like he gave these to me, like I actually paid for these. I just really thought they were cool, and if you guys want to go check them out, that's the website to go look at. He actually autographed them for me too. Which, funny story, is at the convention, I actually had to go and re-get these, because my wife decided to sit a bunch of the prints down that we bought originally when we were in the dealer's room, and they kind of disappeared on us. So, not sure if they got misplaced or somebody grabbed them, but it was just kind of a bummer, because we had to go get them a little bit. But kind of gave a little sob story, so ended up getting some of these for a little bit cheaper when we went back, which was actually really awesome, because the guy was very generous. But this is another reason why I actually wanted to plug his name onto here, just because he's such a sweet guy. Which, for the most part, like even a lot of the art guys were actually really sweet. But for some other pictures that he had, we got the Gamera 2 Advent of Legion, and also got the sweet one of Gamera and Godzilla fighting together too. So overall, like, he had a lot of really cool stuff there, but these are the 3 that I thought was really neat. And then some of the other paintings we got, which these 2 are from the Illustration Studios, the artwork of Tyler and Sarah Sowles. Which, these guys are actually really cool too, because I got to actually talk to Tyler for a little bit. And then if you want to check these ones out, they're at illustrationstudios.com. Which, again, I paid for these. It's just really actually like this stuff, so if you guys want to check it out, go check it out there too, see if there's any other stuff there. But got some autographed picture of Godzilla fighting Slaturn, which actually looks really sweet. Also got the Dragon Zord fighting Mechagodzilla 74, also awesome. These ones, I actually don't know what the guy, can't remember the guy's name, because we got a bunch of cards, but we can't remember who to tie this one to. But these pictures are actually really cool as well. We got Godzilla 2014. And we also have another Slattern picture. Them kind of coming out of the water. Looks really nice. And then we also have Tachi, which actually should be showing up here at the house soon for the flying version. Can't wait. And then, actually, some of you guys might know this guy. We got a few from Matt Frank, who is does a lot of the art for the IDW Godzilla comics, which I actually have one of the comics autographed. It's pretty much got all these autographs, except for that one. That's why I don't quite remember what the guy's name was, because my wife actually bought those ones. But he did the Godzilla Ruler of Earth comic for the cover for this one, which actually looks really, really nice too, and he autographed it too. But he does a lot of the IDW comics images for them. But some of the images that we got from him was we got the Heisei Godzilla fighting the Megazord, which also has the Dragozord and Alpha on the bottom. Looks really sweet. And then Jessica got one for you Transformer fans of a bunch of different Grimlocks, which also looks really cool. I think that's pretty much it for the pictures, at least for these ones. And then moving to some other stuff in the bag, which actually got some not Godzilla stuff at a Godzilla convention, because I am a sucker for, again, you guys know I love random campy fighting shows, and found these two guys from Big Bad Beetleborgs, which we have G-Stag and Ruddle, and the Black Beat, which is also from B-Fighters, is initially what these figures are actually made for. But, again, remember these guys from Big Bad Beetleborgs. And saw these things in there, and I didn't even know these actually came out yet, and just fell in love with them. Just snap bought them pretty much on the spot, and they actually gave me a little bit more of a deal for a price cut on these. So I think I got the pair for around $200, which is actually pretty good. And then moving on to some of the other stuff that I got, you can see here we have Gao Red from Gao Ranger, the Super Sentai version. From the American version, you may have known it as Power Ranger Wild Force. But I actually got it signed by Novaru himself, who was the Red Ranger from this show. And it was also a Blazing Lion, I do believe, which is what his name is. And I got him to sign this instead. Originally, I had him sign the Tokyo SOS poster because he was the pilot of Kiryu in that film. But that was one of the things that ended up disappearing. So the funny story is I actually wanted to get a version of this figure anyways because of the infamy of the American Red Ranger actor. And I thought it would be really cool to actually get him to sign this because I've been wanting some other random Rangers in my collection other than the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's really cool that I actually got the suit actor, or sorry, just the actor for him to actually sign the actual figure. It just really was just geeking out getting him to actually autograph this thing, and made my wife actually get a picture with him too. And then another figure I actually got autographed is I did a review for this guy on Super Unimportant Reviews, which is my Kiryu from Godzilla X Mecha Godzilla. And I actually got signed by the director himself, Misaki Tezuka, which was really, really sweet because it was kind of funny because initially when I went up to get autographs, I seen a lot of people giving him posters and stuff, and it was kind of funny when I pulled this out of the bag, he kind of had that look of like, huh, when I pulled it out, because he seemed a little bit baffled when I tried to autograph it, which was kind of amusing. But I thought it was really cool, and he actually got to sign it, which actually looks really, really nice on this packaging. And he was just a really cool guy. I actually got to sit in on his panel. Same with Nobu. I actually got to hear the discussion panel with those two guys. It was just really cool just to hear a lot of their thoughts on a lot of the other Godzilla movies, how they did their movies, and even like for Nobu for the acting, especially how he got casted for Gao Ranger. It was actually really interesting too. And if you guys ever go to G-Fest, I really recommend actually checking out those panels because it's really interesting, to say the least. And then I think the only other thing in this bag is random Devastators falling. But got the 60th anniversary Godzilla coin from last year, I believe. But Jessica really wanted to pick this up, and it's really sweet. I'm going to stick it with my Godzilla 2014 stuff. And that's pretty much it for that bag. So we're going to move on to some of the vinyls that I picked up, which actually I got one just kind of loosely sitting out over here. But I got the Aquaform Mothra from Mothra 2, which looks awesome. It actually has some clear translucent plastic for the wings, even though it's really tiny and the head kind of bobbles a little bit, but I didn't really pay a whole lot for it, so I was really excited to get this because I actually didn't have this form of Mothra in my collection. There's also some other figures that I didn't have for my collection that I really wanted. Which is one guy, which is one of my favorite Godzilla monsters, is Orga, which I got the Bandai vinyl version from Japan. I got him without the tag, but it doesn't really bother me they didn't have the tag anyways, because I probably would have took it off myself anyways. Because for me, I actually like the monsters just to be standing on the shelf. looking cool, like how they did, and they don't really look cool with the tags hanging off them. I know it hurts the value, but it's something that never really bothered me that much anyways to begin with, because this is the kind of stuff that I wouldn't sell anyways. But this is actually a monster I've been hunting down for so long, and one of the vendors had actually a really good deal on these guys, so I ended up picking up one of these. And also, another monster I've been wanting for a while, which was actually used to be at a comic book shop that I had, but he was a little bit overpriced and eventually he sold, and I was really bummed, is Legion from Gamera 2 Advent of Legion, which is the also Japanese vinyl version, which looks awesome. I actually can't wait to get this thing next to my SH Monsters one, which is the main reason I bought it, which kind of looks a little bit small in comparison, but I don't care. Then Jessica also got this glow-in-the-dark King Ghidorah, which I'm not 100% sure if he is a Bandai vinyl. Is he? Can't really tell, just see some Japanese lettering. But looks really cool. Glows in the dark. It's actually really shiny on this screen. But overall, he's actually pretty neat for our collection. He's like our one random goofy toy buying for the trip. And then Jessica had to have Baby Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, which actually looks really cool. Kind of weird that he's blue, because I don't quite remember him really being blue from the movie, but still looks awesome nonetheless. Actually, for the paint job, he actually is probably still the best looking one, which I think he was from 1993. Yeah, 93. So for this figure being over 20 years old, very impressive in the amount of detail that this thing still is able to carry over. And then for some other vinyls we actually got a few of the movie figures that you only got at the Japanese theaters when the movie actually came out, which we got Nightmare Gamera from Gamera 3, which he's actually see-through, where he's this really nice shade of green, which initially when we got him, I actually thought he was just a normal looking Gamera and he just had the fire hand from the end of the film, but he's actually this more see-through green plastic, and he looks really awesome. Which another one we got too is the Millennium suit from Godzilla X Megaguirus, which he has this really awesome gold coloring to him, and then he kind of tapers down to this clear white at the bottom. Looks really nice. Another thing to point out, if you guys didn't realize, bought this shirt from there. Looks really sweet. Actually, I was really happy to get this one because this one was really cool. And we also got this one, which has the monster mascot on it, which is Giphantus, which is just has the G-Fest 22. Actually, it looks really sweet too. This is the one that my wife really wanted. There's another one too, is we actually got a figure of Giphantus. There's somebody actually, what they did is they used a 3D printer, and we just bought it from the Dojo Warriors, which they were actually doing the they're doing like a Giphantus death match at the actual convention, which what they were doing is they were actually filming it there, and then people could come in and see what they were doing. And they had like the set set up, everything. It was really awesome, which was on my first day, so when that video comes up you can check that out there. Which I actually didn't get to see the fight, sadly, because we had really bad time constraints, especially when we had to go back and rebuy a bunch of the stuff and getting the autographs too and whatnot. But we still ended up picking up this guy, which again, he's forget the actual term. Oh, he's 3D printed. Which you can see here too is that he has a bunch of these little lines, because he's pretty much just a bunch of like little plastic strings, and then they would use a 3D printer with the model to actually make the monster here. So he's not articulated or anything, and the paint job is actually still pretty decent for this guy just literally being cracked on the wires, if you guys can see it. It was actually pretty cool to get this guy, because again, it's the official G-Fest monster, so really wanted to get this guy in my collection. And then second to last thing we had, because the last thing I actually have to go run and get out of our bedroom right now, because it was actually too big to really keep in here. But I actually got one of my posters autographed by Robert Scottfield, who was M11 in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which I ended up meeting up with him after his panel for the tribute of Kawakita and Nakagawa, which is actually a really awesome panel. That was really sweet and very heartfelt. And plus you got to learn a little bit more about the movie and his whole role in it, which was really cool. And he actually was very nice enough to actually autograph my poster. If I can actually get it out of the hole here. Stupid tube. Got him signed on the bottom, which if you guys could see it, because the only thing we could find was a black marker. But right down here, we actually got him to autograph it, which is actually really sweet, because he actually took time out of his day to actually autograph one of his fans thing, which is kind of funny because he was like, "Oh yeah, I got this poster at my place," because of course he's from this film. They were like, "Yeah, we had 3 of them." He's just like, "Oh god, I love you guys." It was pretty funny. But he ended up signing my poster, and I actually got to get this thing to like a frame stat. It was just really awesome to meet the guy. I got to shake his hand and everything. And then going to grab the last thing we got. We got this bad boy here, which you kind of get a nice size reference of just how freaking huge this thing is. Which I want to say that my wife decided to grab this because this was actually one of the raffles that they were having off, which Jessica put in for it, but she ended up losing. And come to find out that the people that won the raffle are also from Michigan, and they were taking a train and they couldn't actually take him with them. So my wife ended up actually picking them off of him, gave him a little bit of cash just to ease the suffering, I guess you would say. But so I ended up at my house now, so I gotta figure out what to do with this thing because it's literally just made out of paper mache. Somebody took a ton of time to actually paint this thing. Actually is a little bit posable, like the mouth can move up and down, and then same with the arms can move a little bit because there's a lot of wire work in here. Even the body shifts a little bit, which is really sweet because somebody spent a ton of time on this, and no matter how goofy I think this thing is, it's still actually really sweet. And that's pretty much everything we got from G-Fest. I think we didn't do too bad overall. I really wanted to get an X Plus, especially a Rick Boy, but we didn't really take a whole lot of cash with us at the time, so we were kind of at the mercy of the ATM. So we ended up got the majority of the stuff that I wanted, because I just mainly wanted the autographs, wanted a Burning Godzilla, definitely acquired that. Wanted something a little bit more unique, which I think this guy kind of covers that. And got some other cool stuff too that's a little bit harder to find with these web exclusive guys. Especially the G-Stack. I haven't ever seen a photo of that, especially with the movie figure stuff too. I think overall we did pretty good. So the next day or two, hopefully we're going to be starting to put up the G-Fest videos. So definitely make sure to keep an eye out for that. Make sure to subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.